Welcome to this session about what the choral and vocal world has to offer at Leading Voices, and welcome also to the people at home who are watching this now live or later at home. We did this session because sometimes we realize that people come to these events and they don't really know who is behind these events, so that's one reason. And the second reason is that we often get questions about what to do and where to go. So my name is Sonja Greiner. I'm the Secretary General of the European Choral Association, that is one of the partners behind Leading Voices. I'm also in the team of Leading Voices, as you may have realized when you see me running around, and I'm wearing a red badge, so that's what says that. But now I'm here to present, not only alone, but with a number of guests, what the choral world has to offer, where you can go. This is what we want to do. We're going to start with something that is actually a slightly different topic, and I think I saw the speaker come in, yes. And that's a presentation, and we start with children. So it's a presentation about singing in schools that Valerie and Marjolein will do. Is Marjolein also?
No, she fell ill before the Leading Voice.
So actually Valerie will do the presentation alone. Then I will shortly introduce the Choral Festival Network, and we'll show two examples of festivals that are part of this network. And then we will go a bit wider and say, what do the International Federation for Choral Music, IFCM, and the European Choral Association for Choral Music, what do they offer in terms of events, but also in terms of free online resources that you can use, and that also people who are not able to come to Leading Voices can actually use. And that will include a presentation of the Musica database that some of you may already have heard something about yesterday in different sessions. And we will end with a surprise in connection to a presentation of the Friends of the European Choral Association. And I will now start by giving Valerie the word. And you can just click yourself if you want, and it also point in that direction. So.
Hello everyone. I'll try to do this with the... my name is Valerie Bruynseels. I work with the organization Koor&Stem, which is in Flanders, Belgium. And right now I'd like to talk to you more about the importance of singing with children, and especially singing with children in schools. Well, singing is a very important tool. It's an important driver of learning, development, and connection, and that is why at Koor&Stem we really try to support and inspire schools to embed singing in school on a structured basis, because not in Belgium we don't have that very big cultural and tradition of singing, so we have to support schools. Why do we sing at school? If you all have followed the lecture yesterday on what how you can improve your brain with music, you will see that even next to, besides the cognitive, emotional and neurological benefits, there are even far greater benefits to singing, and at singing at an early age. So that's why we want to inspire teachers, inspire schools to focus on singing. How do we do this? In order to have more children singing, more children choirs, we need, of course, good teachers to inspire them and to teach them how to do so. So we need very important, good teaching programs. We have different programs. Singing Teacher Day, for example, is a day afternoon, an afternoon session of filled with repertoire that you can directly start working with your children in class. And then there's the Singing with Children package. Actually, Singing with Children is a 8-day program for teachers, for everyone who wants to sing with children. The main parts that we focus on is vocalization, didactics, repertoire, conducting techniques and movements and so on. The idea is to add also an internship to get the real-life practice. And if you want to know more about the Singing with Children workshop or program, you have to talk to Marleen de Bo or Tom Johnson because they both lead the program. Singing with Children Excel is an additional day. It's usually meant for the ones who already did the program, but it's open to everyone. Singing with Brussels is a lighter format, which is only 3 Saturday afternoons and where you can learn the basic techniques to sing with children. And new this year, coming up, is Singing with Children Step Up, which is actually the master class of the program. We also started a free webinar, how to start a school choir, tackling questions such as funding, how to get parents and principal on board, how to keep repetitions fun and structured at the same time. And then there's also the intervision days, Zingende School. I will tell you more about that later. Intervision days are usually workshops meant for the Zingende School people. Of course, when you say teaching programs, you also say didactic materials. We started creating them in 2003. And for the do-up bundles, we work with musicians, with composers, choir conductors, music engineers to get everything as perfect as possible. The do-up bundles you can buy online for a small price. With songs in English, Dutch, French, but also in Albanian, Afrikaans, and nonsense language. Since do-up number 11, we have exclusive playlists with instructional videos and even with teaching packages, so you can prepare the songs in class to sing with your children. I will try to show you one of these videos.
Oh, that's not me that you wanted to have a video.
Oh, yeah.
So
no,
I don't know if it's working with the technique now.
Oh no, that's not a problem.
It should work if you can play it on your computer.
I'll give you the information later.
You will get the link afterwards. Tip for managers, this is why I always ask people to send me the videos and I include them in the PowerPoint presentation because then this doesn't happen, but I didn't know that there was a video, sorry about that.
So there are instructional videos, very fun ones, with, for example, Marleen de Bo and Tom Johnson and other teachers we work with. And then there's also do-up for kindergarten, which we launch every 2 years, or well, publish every 2 years. And now this doesn't work. Schools are also can also request do-up days, singing activities, where vocal coaches work an entire day with the children, teaching them songs, and then at the end of the day they can present what they've learned to the other children, or for example during a Parents' Day or Grandparents' Day. The singing activities range from a half day for kindergarten or a more in-depth musical journey when you have a do-up with band where you have 3 repetition days and then a bigger moment where they can have a 45-minute show for the children. And I think what we see is here. Then Zingende School. What is a zingende school? We try to create a singing school community in Flanders. A zingende school is actually a school that actively embraces singing as part of their daily school life. The schools choose their own path or their own level of involvement, which can be creating a school song or including singing during Grandparent Day or having a school choir. The idea is that the Koor&Stem actively supports these schools in singing and including it as a part of their school life. And we do so by giving them training, intervision, free didactic materials, and give them practical guidance on how to sing. We have currently 22 paid memberships and 74 free memberships. What's the difference? Free membership is mainly focusing on visibility. The school receives a logo, a plaque, which they can put on their school gate, and it's mainly to let the neighborhood, let the parents know that they embrace singing. It also comes with a visibility online. We created an active map where all the singing schools are listed and you can browse them. And that's the way we also try to create the community where 2 or more singing schools in the neighborhood can work together on bigger projects, for example. The paid membership, of course, gives you 20% discount on didactic materials, free entrance to intervision days, free lesson material, and so on. And in 2024, we published an original zingende school song, which I can send as well. It also comes with all the material to how to teach it to the children. The song has several layers that can be adjusted to the age of the children and their level of singing abilities. And this year we had the first competition on the school song where the winner won a free do-up day. So that's a nice prize for them. And then, of course, we continue with the importance of singing with children, but outside of school walls. We organize multiple day activities for children, especially during the holiday periods, summer vacation, Easter break, where we organize summer singing camps, choir days for youth. There's, for example, a Project V we started, which is V for Vacation, where we organize singing activities for children in poverty. That's the idea to make sure that there won't be any learning loss during the summer, that they feel included, and also that they have nice stories to bring back and to tell the other kids when they return on the 1st of September. We also have a project Singing with Children and Youth in Difficult Situations. Next week we are organizing the International Singing Week, which is also for children. And last but not least, we also support them financially and artistically by offering choir coaching and supporting them when they have on-stage opportunities. Don't know. That's it for me. Thank you all for listening. Don't know if you have any questions.
Yeah, so we can take questions now on this part because it's very different from what comes afterwards, and then I will take questions in block. And maybe it gives me the opportunity to say that I will pass a piece of paper where you can put down your email address if you would like to receive a PDF of the presentation, and then I will add the links to the public versions of the videos that we now missed, so you can still watch them. And for the people online, maybe you can give Ludwig a paper with a link that he can post for the people who are not here in this room. Do you have any questions about the contents, about the presentation? If not, thank you so much for this presentation. Somebody stole my pen. So I will pass the paper, and maybe somebody can just quickly to check outside if there's a blue pen still on the counter. Thank you.
Sorry, there is not.
Here's one. Here's one.
Try this. Just put down your email address and please in a readable way, otherwise it will reach somebody else. I can't read it. So we come to the next block. So this was the question, where do you take your choir or ensemble if you want to travel? And I always say there is hundreds and probably more than hundreds of choir competitions, festivals around the world. And there are travel agencies who organize trips, and it's very difficult sometimes for choirs to find out where to go and also to find out if the event where they're traveling to is serious and if it's really something they can trust. And I will only give you now insight into one such organization. I will mention 2 or 3 others. There's many others. It's just this one organization that I want to present to you, which is the Choral Festival Network, was developed as a kind of fair label for international choral festivals and especially competitions also. It started from a group of competitions that discussed with each other how can we help choirs recognize if a competition is serious or not. What is in the focus of the competition. So they say now we are a network of qualified international festivals and competitions whose intention is to give fair and transparent participant conditions to choirs and individuals. So that's the first thing. Is everything written in a readable way in the conditions that you know what you have to pay, how you have to pay, what you have to do? But also I sometimes say, I have been invited to competitions where it says jury and then one name. So a choir competition, and especially an international choir competition, but I would say in general a choir competition with one person on the jury can never be fair. You need minimum a jury of 3, better of 5. If you have a lot of money, of 7. Then you can afford the ice skating system of dropping the highest and the lowest note. And in an international choir competition, you need an international jury because we have very different ideas of what is nice singing. And a Swedish conductor has another idea than a Russian or a Japanese conductor, and that's why this is, for example, also one of the points we will check in competitions. But we also check what are the conditions a little bit, so we have a kind of committee that reviews the applications of those who want to become members of the Choral Festival Network. And the committee will look at the website, at the conditions, and will say yes or no. And I recently joined this committee, and my first task was actually one event where it was very easy to say no, because we couldn't even recognize if it was a competition or not. And there was no information available in English. So if you want to be an accepted international event, that's a no-go. So we said, well, sorry, no, but at this point you can't join this family of events and festivals. The focus is on non-profit making festivals where the choirs or the singers and the choirs are in the center of attention. There may also be touristic elements, but they are not in the center of attention. So it's not that you travel to a country and also sing 5 minutes. It's more that you go to sing and then you also get some tourist and other events. It can be very, very different events, and you will hear 2 very different examples now. And I just want to show you, you can find on the website for 25, 26, 27 now all the events that are members there. And some are only happening every 2 years, so that's why you will not find them here. But the 2 that we will hear about today is the Black Forest Voices Festival that's happening annually, so you will find it in both. But the Basel Festival is only happening every 2 years, so you find it under the 2027 events. And with this, I would like to invite Kathrin to present the Basel Festival. This is one of the older members of this network that has been a member for quite a while. It's also, I can already say that, a quite unusual festival. I'm not sure if I know of any other festival that has the same conditions and is really similar in character with the Basel Festival. So that's a unique one, and that's why we are very happy that we can have the presentation here today.
Thank you. you, Sonja, for giving me this platform. I'm Kathrin, I'm the director of this festival, and we just had the festival 4 weeks ago, and I start my presentation with the video. It's brand new, and there are pictures of this festival, so you had to wait a long time to bring it, but it helps me to explain what we are doing in Basel. And this is Basel. Yeah, so I hope you already have an impression of the festival. It was the aim of this small film to introduce you in all these different things we are doing at the festival. So now I would like to invite you to come to Basel. So because we hope that you saw that we have always really high-level young choirs. It's up to 25 years, and the choirs cannot come twice in 10 years. So we are forced to find all the time new choirs to enjoy this big audience we have in all the concerts. So I hope that here are some conductors they really have good choirs at home, and they want to to register for an invitation. An invitation means that it's already in January 26 for the next festival. So we've got an artistic committee, and they are looking at all the applications, and they judge about the musical quality, that's clear, and then also about the presence on stage, and also if the choir brings a program with a own style. It could be a special direction of choir music, it could be jazz or gospel or whatever, but most of them should have also a cultural background and bring really music from their own country, because otherwise we cannot do concerts for such a huge audience. So we love the diversity of all these countries coming to Basel. So if you get an invitation, you have a lot to do with other choirs. You saw that in the pictures also. Choirs are singing together in the big opening, but also in every concert they are doing pieces to start together and to end together. So it's 3 pieces, but they are singing them the whole time during the week. And we've got also the festival song. Every concert ends with a festival song, so the audience sings with the choirs the festival song in every concert. And we didn't change the festival song since, I don't know, 15 years or something like that. Mm-hmm. So everybody knows this song who is coming to our concerts. So please apply if you have a choir. If you get an invitation, so everything is free. So we will accommodate you in guest families. You saw that, because also the meeting with a local population is very an important part, not only the choirs, with the choirs, and transportation and meals you don't have to care, and you even get a contribution to your traveling costs if you can come to Basel. So, but if you are not a conductor with a luxury choir, if you love to sing, it's also good to come to Basel, because we've got quite a lot of ideas to bring you to sing. So we've got workshops where you can, on this choir boat, you saw it in the school moment, there you can sing together with the choirs. You saw, maybe you know Basilio, he was that year in the festival, so he was singing Basque music with people they just love to sing. The idea of that is that, you know, that when a concert was successful, you go out of the concert and you feel the music in your heart and you want to sing because you are just animated about the atmosphere. And when I realized that, I thought, we should give the audience the chance to sing, really. So we developed all these possibilities with the workshops to sing together with the invited choirs, but also with the Sing Meet events. These are open singings at every day where you can sing with mostly Swiss choirs and really good open singing leaders. They are doing that in the theater, and there are several other possibilities where you got also this country focus. This was not shown now. It's 1 hour for a choir where they can show their cultural background and also the migrants of this country. So, for example, we had a Turkish choir. So all Turkish people, they live in Basel. They came and did a lot of stuff about Turkish culture. So we brought all together. And one part of this event is also to sing and to dance together. You can see that also in this small video where the older lady was singing with the younger boy dancing. So, yes. And if you are really young, means under 30, so we've got 2 possibilities to be with us in the festival. So one possibility is that if you are a music student, you talk to your professor and tell him you want to come to the festival with him. So we've got always student groups with professor, even if you are a professor. You take your students with you and come to Basel and enjoy the whole festival, but you do your own program. So we have no study tour because we feel that the professors, they want to talk in their own style with their students, so they do the study tour with their group. And we only look that the groups have contact between each other. So they will eat with the guests of the festival together, so they will meet 1 or 2 times every day with the other students. And I think that we did that for the first time this year, so we offered to young people just to come to the festival, so they are not coached and nothing, so they are just invited to attend the festival because they can learn and see such a lot of things. And that's also for organizers of festivals. They are very welcome too. So I think we would have autumn 26 an offer for young people. They want to be with us in the festival. They do their own thing the whole time, but anyway they get contact with the students groups and with the guests, and in all these moments where we've got also a dinner with all the conductors, so they get a lot of possibility to contact and to listen and to attend concerts. But they have to look a little bit for themselves, so they will profit a lot if they will profit, and they don't profit if they don't take this chance. So you see, you have a lot of possibilities to come to Basel, and I would enjoy very much if you would be there once.
We have not seen all the slides, so I will just quickly run you through the slides. Kathrin was so engaged that she didn't let you. But this is, you have some impressions. Thank you very much, Kathrin. I would suggest we take questions later because we have a quite packed program. But I want to say that why I think this festival is unique is they are very experimental. At every festival I go, they try new formats. You saw sometimes also the audience sitting around the choirs, for example, interactive formats, etc. And it's perfectly organized in a perfect Swiss way, and very and you really have all these opportunities to learn and see. So even to go just as a normal observer, even if you're not young and you just say I want to go to Basel, it's a special experience. We are now going to come to a completely other festival, and I said the Basel Festival has been a member for a long time. Now we're going to present to you the youngest, almost youngest member of the family of the Choral Festival Network, and that's the Black Forest Voices Festival. And I have a bit of a special relationship because I come from that corner myself, but mostly I'm very happy because it's the first festival that is more from the vocal pop, vocal jazz, a cappella field that was accepted into it. We had some discussions because the name is Choral Festival Network, and you always have some people who say, well, a choir has to be that and that. And then we said, but the times have changed since this network was created. And you will see that here at Leading Voices, our aim is very much to bring people together and not to separate them. And we're trying to break down walls and not to build walls. And that also applies to the genres and to these differences. And I'm very happy to see that actually in many sessions we have a wild mix. And that's what we also want to have in the Choral Festival Network on the long run. And so I'm happy to invite Nina to now present to you the Black Forest Voices Festival.
Thanks so much, Sonja. I'm happy to be here. I'm from Germany. My name is Nina. I'm living in Freiburg. I'm a singer, choir singer. I'm a choir manager and a vocal enthusiast going to many festivals and also freelancer and music things. And so I'm happy to present now and talk about the festival Black Forest Voices. Maybe I want to tell you how this festival came up and why is it there? Maybe some of you have known Tobias Hoek, who's on this picture there. He was a singer, grown up in Freiburg, and he was 12 years at the Singers in London. And he was also very enthusiastic and was traveling to choir festivals and supporting amateur choirs and working with them. And also has been a lot of times at Europa Cantat, and so he was founding new festivals. He was very deep into this pop and jazz scene, and he founded the London A Cappella Festival. Then he went to Luxembourg, founded the Luxembourg A Cappella Festival. He was at Vocalmente, it's a festival in Italy, and so this was kind of his thing, to bring people together, to making music together, to grow and sing together. And he was at Bruynseels, and in 2017 he moved back to Kirchzarten. This is a place where this festival takes place. It's a small village next to Freiburg, because he was ill, and he decided to do the chemotherapy in Germany and not in England. So he moved back to Freiburg, and it was very clear that the time he has left is not that much, and his idea was, and his last life wish was, to found an a cappella festival where he grew up. And so I knew him from different places, and so he put together friends of vocal music around from Freiburg and asked us, hey, do you want to create this new festival? And yes, we said, why not? And so we didn't have a long time, because we knew it would have to be in maybe the next year. And so we had actually, I think, 8 months to create from nothing a whole new festival. But we had the full support in Kirchzarten, because Tobias was there. His mother is still living there, and his family is there, and he was there at school, and his community was there. And so we had the support of the city, of the school, and everybody wants to create with us this festival. And so we created and founded an association for this festival, Black Force Voices. And so it happened that in June 2019, this first festival took place. And it was his idea, and this is what we're still living there, that we're bringing together the local musicians together with the global musicians, international people who are coming there, matching them in concerts and workshops, and just learning from each other. It's always the wish to learn on eye level. So we also don't have any VIP areas or whatever. So everybody at the festival is meeting at the same concert, eating from the same food trucks, whatever, teaching and learning from each other. And it's always, we're balancing and having both amateurs and professionals in this festival. It's a 4-day event every year, and I would love to show you, it's the movie from the first festival, from the first edition, because Toby is also in there. This you see on the picture the team which we founded with Toby, and maybe we could have a look at this first movie. We have,
Will somebody wear me to the fair? Somebody sings a lonely flower. Will a lady pin me in her hair? Will a child find me by a stream? Nothing in the sunbeam shower. Kiss my petals, weave me through a dream. For all of these things and much more, flower is born, it blooms to spread life, faith and hope to people forlorn.
Hello, I'm Kim Nazarian from New York Voices, and the Black Forest Voices Festival has just completed.
The music community is a small community worldwide.
So it brings us together with old friends and new friends and great music. So Black Forest Voices on its inaugural festival is so exciting for us.
Die Leute sind unglaublich mitgegangen, wir hatten volle Konzerte, ausverkauft. Es gab eine ganz tolle Bandbreite an Konzerten. Hey, ich bin Tobias Hoek, Tobi. Und ich bin künstlerischer Leiter von Black Forest Voices, Sänger, Beatboxer, Chorleiter oder so. Aber am liebsten stelle ich einfach Sachen zusammen, wo Leute zusammenkommen zum Singen.
It's a great feeling to have been here for the very first one, teaching at the coaching camp and teaching a workshop.
Ich bin Anna-Maria Hefele, Sängerin, Obertonsängerin, Musikerin. Am Samstag hatte ich einen Obertongesangsworkshop hier.
Ja, wir haben beim Coaching Camp teilgenommen, für das wir glücklicherweise das Stipendium vom Schwäbischen Chorverband bekommen haben. Und dadurch jetzt hier Coaching hatten bei Peter Carlsson, bei Kim Nazarian, Linda Jesse und noch einige andere. Und war richtig, richtig cool. Wir haben so viel mitgenommen.
Unglaublich über den Erfolg von dem Festival. Es waren 4 traumhafte Tage, es hat alles gepasst.
Musik und Emotionen pur, 4 wunderschöne Tage mit ganz, ganz tollen Menschen.
Und es rückt den Schwarzwald in nochmal ein ganz anderes Licht. Ja, das ist jetzt der letzte Abend dieses Festivals und ich will keine Minute verpassen.
Quite interesting to see this now 7 years later and see what happened in this 7 years, seeing how it started. Yes. So just to give an overview, what is happening at our festival. So we have right now around about 50 workshops for individual persons who are just coming as an individual participant at the festival. So they can choose between, I think, 9 parallel workshop sessions. And so they can just be 4 days and doing workshops. We have a coaching camp, so choirs and vocal bands can apply and getting coached over 3 or 4 days from international and people. Where we have people from the real group or swinger singers or no voices. So very interesting people who are there. We have evening concerts. We have master classes for individual people who are just want to deep in about arranging, about beatboxing. For many years and we have a young Black Forest Voices channel, so that we have a program for kids with kids workshops and kids concerts, and also have a cooperation with the local children's office. So we're having creating instruments and things like this. So we have a full strength of children things, and we have a Rahmenprogramm supporting program. It's called Sound of Kirchzarten. Where a lot of local activities are taking place. So we have a 4 days, full day program of things happening, and you can always choose where to go. We have a sound garden. You can go behind the castle you've seen. This is the main concert place. And then what I already told you that Tobias died half a year after this first festival. We gave him, or he asked us before that we gave him kind of the promise that we are continuing this festival, and so it's taking place every year now. And after his death, we did not get to know the COVID thing. It's crazy. But I think 2 weeks later, COVID came up, and so we dived directly, instead of doing a second huge festival, we dived into a webfestival and did 4 days of full-time streaming just to take place, and went you see this there sitting. We had a kind of TV studio for 4 days, so we streamed, and we went out with a truck going to the locals and singing from there. So we had kind of trying to be creative to continue. And right now we are many years later, and the festival since 2022 is back in the 4-day edition. And we created a lot of marketing around, so we're having a festival movie every day. We have been creating a festival song every year, which is getting recorded. So we're doing a lot of social media. We have every year a new design we are developing. We have merchandise. We got a festival app last year already. So yeah, it's getting bigger and bigger, and more people are coming, and it's getting sold out very early. And so I also wanted to let you know what's happening with the team right now. We're built up to 15 people now working in this team, and we have a new wonderful artistic director, Tanja Panier. She's from Berlin, a singer, and she took over since a few years, and it's great to work with her. We are also in a team process, so we are having also coachings every year with an external coach, so that we can see at our team how we're working with each other, so that we want to do it in kind of a professional way, and so that we can stay together over the years and not kind of burning out because different things. So it's also that we're taking care of each other. We have a clear responsibility system so that everybody knows what to do. We are, from the first year on, we did a contract thing about we're dealing with slicing pie. I do not know if you know it. It's a system from America, so that it's a kind of solution how to pay each other in the team, depending on what responsibility you have and how much you're working. But it's very cool that we just did it also directly in the first year and have now the system which is working kind of over 10 years. Yeah, and we're doing a lot of evaluation, appreciation. We have a lot of volunteers during this festival, about 55 volunteers who are working with us. Yeah, and yeah, it's kind of a friendship in the team, and this is what brings us all about over 7 years now. And the horrible thing is the financial thing, because we have no fixed funding, so we have to do project funding, so it's horrible. As you see, I've just listed what I tried to get over the last years, and sometimes it works and sometimes not, but I'm kind of developed into a full year of trying to get money thing. Yes, and this is just what I wanted to show you. It's the map from 2025, it should be, actually. So that you can see what's happening. This is a four-day structure, and so, yeah, it's a full-packed program, and I just love to do this. Yes, this was, because the festival took place 3 weeks ago, so this was the design of this year. Yeah, that's Black Forest Voices. If you are interested, come talk to me and come to a beautiful place and to the Black Forest.
It's a totally different festival, as you saw, very intimate, great family feeling, in a very small place, which is also interesting to see that it's possible to do a festival in a very small place with limited capacities, but it works out very well. We do our workshops in restaurants and hotels and things like that. I gave some workshops there, and it's a different experience. So that was the Choral Festival Network family, and I'll jump over the questions. I leave time at the end if we have it, because we always talk longer than we think. We are now coming to the activities and also the online resources that can be useful for you. And maybe a note to the people watching this online, I will also show at the end actually my email address, so if you want to ask for the PDF, you can also send us an email and ask for it. And I will now pass the word to our two representatives from IFCM, from the International Federation for Choral Music, and it's Patricia and Pelin, and they will talk a little bit about what IFCM does.
I start? Hi everyone. Thank you for coming. I'm from Mexico, and I am really excited to show with you the IFCM a lot of activities we have. In my turn, I will talk about Conductors Beyond Borders. This is a very I don't know. It's a program who introduce you and inspiring you with exchange between conductors in different countries. I took that in Guatemala or maybe in Africa, or you can do something between two countries, and you learn a lot about this program through the conductor you invite. This is a very empowering program from the conductor leaders in the IFCM. The IFCM, the International Federation of Choral Music. And we have a lot of countries in this federation. I know I think you know it. And this exchange works between conductors and her choir and the choirs and the singers, and we learn a lot with workshops, master classes, mentorship, resourcing, singing, and we build networking between all of us. The other program that I love is World Symposium of Choral Music. The last one was in Turkey. That's why Pelin is here, and she lived with this World Symposium. It was great, a crucial and very big event. We sing with many choirs around the world, and of course, International Federation has a committee and has people who choose the choirs for different concerts, workshops, training, singers, and all the time you are sharing with the people for many countries, in Europe, in Turkey, in maybe we don't know, in Sweden or in Copenhagen, in many places. We took over the seas and we make many interesting things with for the people who want to learn and who want to teach and who want to share. That's important about Choral Symposium. I love this event, of course.
Maybe you also want to talk about the next.
Yes. Yes, the next symposium is going to be on 26. We think we will be in Macau, in China. So you have the agenda.
Say the date.
Say the date.
And the call will come out soon, so if you want to apply, watch the IFCM social media.
So, and this is going to be very important thing about the choral world, because we are going to be on Asia, so that will be very interesting for all of the world, this world. And my favorite thing in International Federation for Choral Music is a World Choral Day celebration. This is my goal, because I know that since I was a child. In my country, we don't have a choral history or something like that, but I can find through Choral Day, because Alberto Grau from Venezuela, he starts this celebration, and I do many things around this Choral Day, because you can participate in many ways. You can participate singing in a choir, conducting a choir, maybe only singing the song for the Choral Day, to promote and all the events promote the value of peace, understanding, friendship. It's so amazing, because you can sing only from the other part of the world, and you share with others by now. After COVID, by obviously by Zoom or by Facebook or with the videos, but important is that it's around the second Sunday of December, so you can sing a piece with your choir or alone or with others, you can share with all the world, and then you say, okay, we are, I don't know, maybe 2,000, I don't know, maybe for Estonian people it's like, we did that many years ago, every years, but for us it's amazing, it's very amazing. So I invite you to share your sing in around the second Sunday in the year. That will plus people singing together.
Yeah. Thank you, Anna. And I will continue with the other activities. So let me introduce myself first. I'm Pelin Küçükerdoğan. I'm from Turkey, and currently I'm the chair of Young IFCM, which is the youth committee of IFCM. And a project we offer as IFCM is the Young Program. That is a program for young conductors, singers, composers, or managers aged 18 to 35. And maybe you saw some people running around here as well in the YAMP program, and the Young Program is inspired from the YAMP, I think. So in this program, some selective few young individuals come to your event, maybe before a week or something, and they receive some training from you and from IFCM selected trainee. And then they start to help you as volunteers in your event. So this is an on-job training for the young individuals and opportunities to get experience in the event management. And for you, it's an enormous help from very passionate and young people. So we really encourage you to contact us if you want to host a young program in your choral events. So we organized the Young Program 2 times since 2022. One in Portuguese in the World Choral Expo, and one in the Symposium in Istanbul. And the next iteration will be actually next week in Germany in the Koor&Stem Festival. And so, as Sonja mentioned, we love to get together in person, but we cannot do that frequently, so IFCM also offers some online activities. First is actually a project of Young IFCM that we just started earlier this year. So we started a podcast called Unison, and we imagined this podcast to be a space for young choral leaders to learn from experienced choral leaders, share and connect. And you can see that we already have a lovely and fruitful chat with these people. And you can see the episodes in our YouTube and Spotify accounts, and you can stay tuned for the next season. So IFCM also offers regular online cafes, international cafes, where renowned choral leaders, conductors, composers, and managers around the world presented some interesting topics from repertoire selection to conducting and rehearsal techniques. You can all join these international cafes by following our Instagram and getting know about it. And if you're an IFCM member, you can also catch the recordings afterwards on our website. So last but not least, IFCM hosted 2 webinars with the European Choral Association within the Choral Ties project. And one was about creating choral music, and the other was conducting youth and children's choirs. And you can also see them in the European Choral Association's website still. So yeah. This is it from our side, and we can take questions in the end, I think.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Now we're coming back a little bit to Europe from the world. And I will actually show you in a moment where you can find those webinars. So I just wanted to say a few words. I will jump over some slides maybe, but who are we? What is the European Choral Association? We have a slogan saying one voice for collective singing in Europe, and that comes from the fact that there used to be 2 European choral associations, and in 2011 we decided to merge them into one because we felt that we would be stronger and we would be in a better position to advocate for our community and our network. So who are we? We are a network. Our vision is to create a future where everybody experiences the benefits of singing. A vision doesn't have to be realistic, but it drives you. We are the Voice for Collective Singing in Europe, and our mission is to inspire through the power of collective singing and foster collaboration throughout Europe and beyond. And you will notice in some of our strategic documents that even though our name is European Choral Association and we speak about choirs, we also speak a lot about collective singing. And that has two reasons. One is, as I said, we started getting nearer to the vocal pop and jazz world, and they often don't have choirs. They do also have jazz choirs, but the majority are ensembles, vocal bands, whatever. They will use another vocabulary. They also don't have conductors necessarily. They have vocal leaders. So actually the title of Leading Voices was inspired also by this meeting of the different genres. And also the music educators often tell me, I don't have a choir, I sing with children. I'm not a conductor, I'm a music teacher who sings with children. So if I announce an event for choirs and conductors, these people might not come. Now sometimes you may have to use both words, because on the other hand, some of the more classical people might not recognize themselves in the word collective singing. So sometimes I use everything at the same time, and if you read the target group description for Leading Voices, you will find everything. So we have 60 member organizations. We directly represent more than 2.5 million people, and we did a survey once, which could be interesting for you, that we found out that there are over 37 million people in Europe, only in Europe, in continental Europe, singing together regularly with others. I have used this number a lot in advocacy, and I can recommend it to you also to use it as much as you can. If you want to see what can be our impact on people, if every choir only does 2 concerts per year and has 200 people as listeners, we would already have an audience of 400 million people that we can reach with our message, and that's quite a lot. And we base our work on some values like diversity, inclusivity, belonging, lifelong learning, and joy. We know that we don't always manage, I think, the diversity we can still improve in the choral world altogether, not only us. Also in the inclusivity we can still improve, but still these values drive us, and that's what we want to reach. We organize all kinds of events, mostly in collaboration with others. Events for choirs and vocal ensembles. Here you can also see all my mixture always. Conductors and vocal leaders, composers and creators, music educators and managers. Big festivals, small festivals, master classes, academies, training courses, the management training program that you heard about. And we have some events that are like our own events that were created by our association. These are the ones, and then we publish a program, and we also publish other events that are events under our label, which are events that other people created, but that fit our strategy and our aims, and so we promote those events in our program that we publish every year. You will find also downstairs, I forgot to bring one, those flyers with the 2025 program, and if you scan the QR code, you get to the full brochure on the website. We always have one page also in the program specifically about what we have on offer for conductors and vocal leaders. And because we didn't have all the information yet, you have this little flyer that takes you to the 2026 program. If you scan the QR code, and I've put some flyers there as well. And there, I think one event I want to point out is we have a junior festival for children and youth choirs in Girona next summer. You already heard about the singing week this year, but this will be our main event next year in summer. We are patrons of the World Youth Choir. We organize the European Youth Choir. And then these are the events under our label that are also happening next year. There's maybe one thing, the relaxing. That's the first time we're going a bit into tourism and singing. We did one already in Mallorca once, so you have half a day of singing and half a day of beach combined, which can be attractive as well. But you can also see that we also have a competition for choral conductors. We normally don't do competitions, I should say that. We feel that there are enough other organizations organizing competitions, and we don't want to do so many competitions for amateurs, but we feel that professionals might need competitions to actually promote their careers, and that's why we have done some composition competitions or support, for example, the IFCM composition competition, and we have from time to time a competition for conductors where we discover new talent. Somebody like Risto Joost many years ago was a participant in our competition for young conductors, for example. And now to the online material. So I also say, of course, we love to come together, but not only because of COVID for some time, but also because of the financial side of it, and that is actually becoming more difficult for many people. Not everybody can travel to Macau or to Tallinn to meet other people. And I think the fact that we can stream things, open them to hybrid participation, gives some people at home the possibility to join. I had somebody from Singapore signing up for the hybrid sessions, for example, who said, I can't travel to Europe. We have a lot of material that is available for free that anybody can use. This was our last Europa Cantat Festival in 21. That was a COVID festival, so we were not allowed to bring many singers. And then we convinced the government that instead we were allowed to use the money to produce 50 hours of online TV, and they are still available in the archive with all kinds of lectures and presentations. It's a bit like the program here. Also some reading sessions where you can discover new repertoire, some open singing online, and all kinds of contents that can be useful for you. And then this is something I want to point out. We did a campaign on the benefits of singing. And there is a lot of material there from a curated research database proving the benefits of singing, the social, educational, physical, and psychological benefits of singing. So you can use these research documents to convince the people who should support a singing activity. We also have a set of postcards. You will find some downstairs as well that are translated into 21 languages and that you are free to print at home and also to translate into any further languages. We will help you create a layouted version. We have organized by now a number of webinars. It started as a kind of must during the pandemic because we had to do something. And then we realized that maybe it's nice not always to do hybrid events, as we are doing it now a little bit, because they can sometimes be more complicated, but to have an hybrid offer as an organization, at least, to also have some online offers regularly. And they can vary from topics like here, it's about environmental topic and how to design a concert that helps you claim that we want an ecocide law that punishes crimes against nature the same way as crimes against humanity, but it can also be very musical topics like choosing your repertoire or some other topics that you will find. And if you go to our YouTube list, you will find a folder webinars where you can find all the webinars, including the Choral Ties one that Pelin just mentioned, because we are partnering in the Choral Ties project. The sessions we are doing now, by the way, at the moment can be found under live, and they will be later added to the playlist. Then we have a resources section with free guidelines and handbooks on all kinds of topics. It's a lot also about, for example, we have something about if you want to become more inclusive of non-binary people in your work, or we have environmental tips, but we also have projects, material from earlier projects. We have fair recommendation guidelines. If you don't know how to pay a conductor or a composer at an international event, you will find some tips there. We have a newsletter that you can subscribe to and social media. And then I want to finish with a short presentation of an online resource that some of you may have heard about yesterday, some of you may have sung along. So Sturm is with us in the room. And I will give a quick look into Musica, and if you have more questions later, he's happy to have private conversations with you about the Musica database. Why am I presenting this? Because the European Choral Association is one of the members of the Musica Network. We are supporting Musica, but the second reason is that I am personally convinced of the usefulness of Musica, and therefore I include it almost in every presentation that I'm doing. So, not sure if this is set at automatic. So it's a very large database which has a lot of titles now that have partly been put in by publishers who put their whole catalog into the Musica database, partly by composers and partly by volunteers who regularly meet at Musica sessions. And a lot of the information is available in several languages. And you get a lot of extras. Not everything is available for every score, but in the ideal case, you would find all this information connected to a score that you found, and I will come back to this in a moment. And it's interesting for different types of people. So if you're a conductor, you can design your program. But if, for example, like me, you have to write a concert program, it can be very useful to look up things on Musica database also, because you find CVs of composers, their dates of life, their anniversaries, etc. So you find a lot of information. There are some member organizations of Musica that offer free access. And this is, I think I have to try to stop it because I didn't realize that it was set on automatic access, but let's try. This is how you can start searching. So you can search a specific piece. I heard that Eschenwalds composed this and this piece, and I want to learn more about it. But you can also search by keywords, and you can say, I want to sing about flowers, I want to sing about the environment, about nature, about water, I want to do a water concert, and then you get all kinds of pieces, and for one piece, this is what you see, and the blue points are where you have all the extras, but you also find the level of difficulty for the conductor, the level of difficulty for the choir. Sorry, Jean, you shouldn't do it automatically. You can find the length of the piece, you can find the tonality, what period it is, and you get a link to the publisher where you can order the piece. So that's quite useful to have. You can also manage your own library with the help of Musica if you put everything into the Musica database. It can also be useful, by the way, for composers who are not published and want to have give access to their music. So we had that with some Arab composers, for example, maybe in a country where there is no publishing house. And you can interactively contribute to Musica in many different ways, not only by becoming a member with your organization, but also by joining those sessions and helping to upgrade Musica and make it an even better database. This is more for the technical people among you to see how many people are visiting the Musica website.
See that 2020, the COVID.
You can see that there were, yeah. And then that's the website where you can find more. And as I said before, we are an organization, actually a non-profit organization that is behind it. So we have come to almost the end, not quite. And now I think I can give you a few minutes if you have questions about what you heard until now. And if you don't have any questions, I will go to the final part. Is there anything? It was a lot of input, a lot of information, but you will get the PDF and then you can look up things. And also, of course, I am also here until the end. Nina is here until the end, Kathrin, and also Pelin and Patricia, so you can also approach us at any point, and Jean also meet in the rooftop cafe and have a private conversation about this. Yes?
I have a question, just maybe for everybody, just sharing their experiences, because, well, it's your festivals and events. Do you think that it's a harder time to get people singing, getting there, getting choirs, getting people there, because it's always said that so many choirs are dying, and I'm on my thing, our festival is growing and lots of people coming, and I just wanted to have an information about how do you experience this? It's harder for you over the years now to find choirs, and how many choirs are applying instead of how many you can take?
Maybe we have to make a big distinction. That's why I said that Kathrin's festival is very special.
Okay.
It's that it's very cheap for a choir once they have been approved as an invited choir to get there, which means that I think you haven't had difficulties to have enough applications.
Find always new choirs is quite tricky.
And I must also say that good festival organizers and especially competition organizers also never only rely on the incoming applications. You will see Kathrin at many festivals where there are youth choirs performing, and she will approach them personally, and almost all good competitions do that as well. They never rely only on the automatic application. What I can say is, especially since last year, I can see funding problems popping up in a lot of countries. It's not going to get better with all the wars, and our our countries, our governments suddenly deciding that they need to invest a lot into defense and security, also the European Union. So there is a shift of funding, and if you have to cut funding, culture is unfortunately often the first thing. And it's happening also in countries which until now had a quite comfortable situation. So we have seen first festivals and competitions die. I would not say that the reason is that the choirs are dying, because if you look at the statistics of the choirs, actually certain choirs are dying, but a lot of new choirs are popping up. And in Germany, I know that I've recently seen the statistic, and also the Eurobarometer for Europe says that actually 3% more people sing now than in 2019. So the number of people singing has increased. There is a tendency for more project choirs, pop-up choirs, so you choose what you like. You maybe don't commit your life to a choir. And there were some choirs with a fairly high age structure that really died because of the pandemic, because the singers were afraid to go back into crowds. And in some countries we lost the young generation because singing was banned in schools, and the children's choirs had problems to recruit new singers because the children had not learned to sing. So there is a 3 to 4 year gap in the children's choir world in some countries. But, and I think what we are very nervous about now, about 2027, about our next big festival in Liepaja, is will people be able to afford to travel? So it's not about the wanting, it's really mostly the finances, taking holidays. So we have already decided to shorten our festival in 2027 to reduce the costs, because we saw that an 8-day festival, as we used to do it, is going to be difficult to finance for the people. And then there is a second point, is that some young people in some countries don't want to fly anymore, and we are not sure how this is going to impact our festivals depending on where they are happening. I am not somebody who says you should stop flying. I think intercultural exchange is important, and you should fly consciously and make your choices, but you shouldn't necessarily stop. Because if we all stop flying, we will not meet other cultures from other continents anymore, so that's maybe not the right solution either. But I think it's an important question, and actually I can say that during the pandemic in the International Choral Festival Network, we sometimes had exchange sessions about such topics. We all met and said, what are you doing now? How can you still manage to keep your funding even though you can't have activities? We talked about, can you do an online competition, yes or no? So it might also be a question you can throw on the table of the Choral Festival Network and say, would you like to do an online exchange about this topic once to see how we are all impacted? But one of the traditional competitions that died in the last years is the competition in Tours, that had a very, very long tradition, and they lost the funding and had to close down. And that brings me maybe to one more organization that you may want to have heard about, and that's the European Grand Prix competitions. This is a network of competitions that are also all high-level, serious, fair. They just have their own network where the winners of all the competitions come together to a Grand Prix competition in a different country every year. And they can also be clearly recommended. And then there's a lot of others where you have to find out yourself if you find them recommendable or not. And there's a big, big market out there. And I mean, there's the Choir Olympics, and the European Choir Games and the World Choir Games. I still sometimes use the old word. But also, as I said, many others that are offering lots of events. Okay, and we have 10 minutes left, which is perfect for me to pass the word, or rather start with a little surprise. And yes, I'll say something about that.
Yes, of course.
You are the master of the slides now.
So, hello, fellow choral enthusiasts. It has been really inspiring to hear all the talk about and around choral singing, collective singing. But Sonja promised a little surprise. So let's get straight to that. How would you feel about actually singing together? Up for that? Yes, that's what I thought. Okay, so because we have our very own Kirchzarten here to lead us to sing a little song. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, friends, because we are all friends.
let's sing a song, a social song about friendship. Oh, there it is. Can you see that? Yeah.
We all have a by, so.
Yeah, you all have a screen nearby.
Screen.
So, at every choral meeting, this chorus shall be sung. In this, our friendly greeting, sing all, both old and young. And do we have any tenors here? Okay, we can sing the melody line first. We need a little rehearsal. So this is the soprano. 1, 2, 3. Can we let the soprano sing that a cappella? And then, if you're not a soprano, you have to wait until the soprano's finished and then say, oh. Soprano, 2, 3. Altos and 2, 3. Yeah, basses and tenors, we can fix this, right? Basses, tenors, 2, 3. Let's sing it all together. And of course, you can use this song. I wrote this in a TV version. I found actually a male choir thing in an old manuscript. But take it home to your choir, sing this with them, so you encourage the friendship. And of course, if you use it, it is free. But become member of Friends of everyone. High voices, altos, tenors, and bass. 2, 3. And every choral meeting, this chorus shall be sung. In this a friendly greeting, sing all both old and young.
That felt good, right? Yes. Okay, now rewind and replay, because now I can really start how I would have loved to already in the beginning. Kjetil was bolder than I am, because now I can say, dear friends. We have sung together, we have shared our passion, so I really think those two words, dear friends, they are appropriate. We are no strangers anymore. Yeah? Yeah, you agree? Yeah, some nodding, some maybe a bit. Yeah, let's see. So I'm Susanna, and here's my friend, Valerie. And we have 2 questions for you. 1, are you enjoying leading voices here in Tallinn? Yes. Okay, that's what I thought. Now we are all agreeing. Okay, the second question. Would you like to keep on keeping alive this feeling you are having here? And those who are there watching the stream, you can think about any choral event that has touched you. Do you want more of that? And do you want others to discover this world if they haven't already discovered it? Yes. What do you say?
Yes.
Yes. Amazing. So, Valerie and I, we are not just your friends here, but also a bit of a genies in a bottle. Because we are here to grant your wishes. And you don't even have to kind of grab the lamp. All you have to do is, as Kjetil already said, join the Friends of the European Choral Association. So, what is this? It's the support organization for the European Choral Association, but also your way to stay connected to this wonderful community of collective singing. So if you are a choir, an ensemble, or individual, anybody who just loves choral singing, collective singing, ensemble singing, this is really the circle of friends you need. As I said, I think this is the way you can really keep the spirit of Leading Voices or any other amazing festivals just go on forever. And this goes beyond, because there is this other side. We all know the amazing power of singing together. And I think here in Estonia, how many of you were in the song celebration on Sunday? Yes, okay, you know what I'm talking about. So, you know, singing together can even unite a nation. But these kind of connections don't happen just accidentally. We need organizations like the European Choral Association, which has brought us together here and which has been bringing people together ever since the 50s. So this is really something we should honor, but also be involved with. And now, as friends, we are really inviting you to be part of the mission and vision of the European Choral Association. So as Sonja said, it's really inspiring, it's bold, it's maybe a bit far-reaching, but you can also contribute to the idea of creating a world where everybody can experience the benefits of singing. So, with only 50 euros for individuals, 100 euros for choirs and ensembles a year, you can be part of this something bigger, which we all, I think, we have a longing for, being part of something that is bigger than ourselves. So, Sonja also mentioned the situation we are living in the cultural field, in Europe and beyond. We know the financing situation. So I just say that we really need you. So in order for the European Choral Association to continue the work it has been doing, we really need you. Any contribution, becoming a friend, as a member, a little donation, whatever, it's very much appreciated. So I really hope that when we leave this room, we don't just leave as friends, but as friends with a capital F. Yeah, wonderful. Yes, and you, okay, and you will now hear a bit more. It's over to Valerie, who will tell something about us.
So yeah, we also do some events, and so you have the possibility for those that are here, but also for those that are at home, to join an event just tomorrow. We want to have a little auction. Sonja went through the ECA archives and found a lot of cool stuff, like old songbooks from other Oberkantal festivals, and you have the chance of buying those, or bidding for them, and we will also stream it on Facebook Live, so even if you're at home, you can join. And the other thing is that on July 22nd, we plan a Zoom Cafe of the Friends, where you can connect with the friends that you made here new at the festival, but also meet the people that are now watching on Zoom already. So please join us, and of course, become one of the friends and support the work that we are doing that we all love. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this inspiring ending. And I hope you've all taken a picture already of the QR code, because I wanted to also show my email address if anybody has any questions. You can also write to my email address, and for the people watching remotely, this is where you can write that you would like to receive a PDF of these presentations. And then I will go back to the QR code and say thank you very much for your attention and enjoy the rest of the evening with a lot of music.
Sind angerufen.